My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
So this is this from ByLine. Alright, hold up. Unusable prison filled with poisonous gas list from the Dutchy of Cornwall. That's a quote. Prince William's Dutchy of Cornwall list prison filled with poison gas. Now the taxpayers who are already paying Prince William's is a bully tens of millions will have to £100 million for this scam. Alright, so this is pretty much okay. I'm gonna go into this. I may not read the article. Let's see this so I don't come back to it. Taxpayers face £100 million bill for unusable prison as MP's Brand Moje's handling of the affair a catastrophic failure and absolute disgrace. Alright, so this is recent. Yesterday, 2 days ago, January 6th. MPs have blasted a catastrophic failure by the Ministry of Justice, which could land the taxpayers with a £100 million bill for unusable prison. Who will represent, who is truthful in the UK who go and test that? So they could say anything out there to get that money. So they would say there's a reason that money went out. That's what I'm getting from this. The government must pay £4 million a year to lease that more prison from the Dutchy of Cornwall, even though the building is uninhabitable due to contamination by radon gas. Additional improvement costs of £68 million will also have to be covered by the public purse over the first decade of the lease. Oh my God. The government must pay. There's that. Let's go into this. This is ByLine. Boris Johnson Radon gas-filled prison deal to cost taxpayers £100 million. The full cost of the batch agreement to lease an unusable prison filled with poisonous gas from the Dutchy of Cornwall revealed for the first time. I'm not going to read the article. I'll leave the link in the description for you. All right. It's not that long. By who? David Hank. Unbelievable, but oh my God, very sad. These people live on stealing money. Unbelievable. Boris Johnson government acted in blind panic and signing a deal with the Dutchy of Cornwall to lease an unusable radon gas-filled prison in Dartmoor, which will needless cost taxpayers over £100 million. Over, okay? It's not $100 million. It could be more. A new parliamentary report has found. An investigation by the Commons Public Account Committee revealed for the first time the full scale of the contract to lease HMP Dartmoor and the repercussions for the taxpayers before any remedial work to remove the radon gas can be undertaken. Radon gas is highly dangerous and can cause cancer. In 2020, I wonder the people who live around it, how that affect them. In 2022, under Dominic Raab, the Justice Secretary and Deputy Prime Minister signed a deal with Prince William's Dutchy of Cornwall, who owned the prison. ByLine Time revealed in 2024 the existence of the deal, which will bring in £1.5 million a year for the prince. But now MPs show the cost to the taxpayer or for hire. The contract from 2023 is for 10 years, bringing in a total of £15 million for William plus another £25 million to cover security and rates. In addition, the ministry agreed to pay £68 million from taxpayers' funds for structural improvement to the prison. Oh my God. All this is before any remedial work to deal with the Radon gas. The ministry had commissioned a report on the extent of the gas, but signed a deal before it received its findings. The 10-year contract cannot be broken until... Oh my God, my headphone and my glasses came off. Oh my God, they knew and cannot be broken until, oh my God, 2033. Sir Geoffrey Clifford Brown, conservative chair of the committee, said, the issue of HMP's Dartmouth is an absolute disgrace from top to bottom. We heard claims that the leasing of this unusable building unusable. Oh my God. Don't get me wrong. This is happening in the US as well. In a different level. Known for years by HM Prison and Probation Service to be choked with Radon gas with all the health risks that entail, was sensible driven by the need for prison places. Our committee rejects this excuse outright. Dartmouth appears to the committee a perfect example of a department reaching for a solution, any solution, in a blind panic and under pressure. This is obviously not how public should be delivered. Government must now respond to us on what it has learned from this catastrophic failure and how nothing like it will ever be allowed to happen again. The report revealed that all remedial work to remove Radon gas have been abandoned, awaiting a report from a health and safety executive. The ministry has still not decided what to do with the prison. And this, oh my God, this should go to court or something. The report is also critical of another issue involved the Ministry of Justice dating back to previous successive conservative government, the reform and administration of the legal aid system made over a decade ago. This restrict access to legal aid, and at the same time previous government failed to raise legal aid fees. As a result, the legal aid became inaccessible for many of the most vulnerable. Among the 24% of people who have no digital access, including disabled people and people in housing debt. Clifton Brown said, quote, on legal aid, the reform of a decade ago are now at serious risk of going down in history as extinction event for the entitlement to access the legal advice in large part of the country. Our report finds government remaining stubbornly uninterested in whether this is the case, but it must now wake up on this subject. If it refuses to, the Ministry of Justice should frankly consider changing its name to the Ministry of Justice for certain people. This might be more appropriate for a nation without a sustainable solution in the long term to provide legal aid to the digitally excluded quarter of the population who need it most. Okay, let me finish. The report also warned that the legal aid agency has been subject to cyber hacking, which has not discovered for 4 months, and despite more money to update system, the MPs are skeptical that it is still being adequately protected. A Ministry of Justice spokesperson said, quote, this decision was taken in 2022. This government inherited a crisis in our prison system where prisons were on the brink of collapse, threatening a total collapse in law and order. This government is addressing the prison crisis through building 14,000 new prison places and the sentencing bill, which will deliver punishment that works. That much. I don't know what to say. Now that I'm editing, I'm wondering, can the people, a group of the taxpayers, in the UK, put their mind together and call this kind of deal to court and said, this needs to stop. That kind of funding needs to stop. Because if whatever the idea was to create the deal to housing that empty place, and they're paying that much money on something they cannot occupy, can they stop that deal and have the landlord, which is Dutchy of Cornwall, fix the problem first before they could continue or stop it completely. This is a robbery. A completely robbery. Can a group of people put their heads together and make it a class action lawsuit? I don't know. And said, our taxpayers' money is going to this and empty house, and then there's people who need food, shelter, clothing, and whatnot in the UK. Now the information is out. I don't know. People should know about it and go to court and said, there's too much at loss here. These people are receiving all of this money and then the place cannot be occupied. I'm just saying. Because there are times in the US when a group of people dealing with the same issues, they get together and make a class action lawsuit. So I'm just wondering. That's all. Anyway, let's get back to the original recording. The link will be in the description if you guys want to read it at your own time. Alright, so that is it. I'm not even going to go in the comment. You could pause and read this. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. That's it. There might be 2 parts to this recording.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better